It's a special holiday season Mike Sasson show. Again, it's Sunday night. It's 9 o'clock. Last couple weeks, we've been doing the show now, and actually, I'm kind of digging it, except for the fact that the Steelers refuse to play during the daytime. Anyways, it's the Mike Sasson show broadcasting live on the River's Edge. You can listen to the River's Edge, all the great local music, all the great local talk at www.riversedgepgh.com, or you can listen on TuneIn Radio anywhere on the planet Earth, possibly other planets we haven't checked. Also, you can watch us live on Facebook Live. You could be watching us, or you could be listening to us after the fact on one of the many podcast formats, either Google Play, iTunes, or SoundCloud. Today on the show, we're going to be going over the fact that my brother coaching at Pine Richland High School, big win over St. Joe's Prep out of Philadelphia. They are the 6A state champs. I'm going to be talking about that. Also, the fact that I got some great compliments about this show, and one I think was a compliment, but ultimately turned into a negative. Also, Alex in her bar thoughts is going to be talking about that she knows how to talk to men. So, ladies, if you want to learn how to talk to dudes, we've got the doctor of love and everything, Alex Clemens. She's going to be all ready to go. She's going to teach you what's going on. Also, later on, we're going to have Amanda Averill, comedian extraordinaire. She is going to be here talking about a great charity that she's doing to support our troops. In this holiday season, you got to be giving it up for the troops. So, again, it's the Mike Sasson Show. My name is Mike Sasson, and Alex is just, she's a bundle of energy. She's a bundle of activity over there. She's lifting up her
I always am, right?
Yeah, I know. You've got 9 computers in front of you. You're moving back and forth under multiple headphones. Now you're adjusting it. It's absolutely wonderful. Again, that's why she is producer extraordinaire, first ballot Hall of Fame. I don't care what anyone says. I know that sometimes people sit there and say, no, you haven't done enough to get into the Internet Radio Producers Hall of Fame, which I believe is in outside of Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh, that's a better place than usual.
I know. They usually move it around. I don't know what's going on. This week's in Hartford. Next week, possibly Reno, Nevada. We're thinking, I don't know if we have the budget because Reno's big time, but we don't understand. She's got her coffee. She's ready to go. There's only a little bit of booze in it.
I feel like I can't do anything.
No, I'm describing everything you're doing. You're smiling. You're holding the cup. You're sitting there nervously. You're wearing a scarf. It's all big time. It's Alex Clemens. How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
I'm a little weary of anything that I do.
No,
so that.
At this point further, I will not describe to anybody what you're doing.
Thank you.
You're all set.
I really appreciate that.
Well, that's good.
But other than that, I'm doing great.
That's awesome. The holiday spirit today. You set up your family's Christmas tree at the old homestead, so you're all in the Christmas mood.
Yes.
You're big time with the Christmas.
I wouldn't say I'm in the Christmas mood, but it was nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like I was in the Christmas mood while it was happening. Then now it's like, okay, or it's not Christmas yet.
Now it's go time.
It's not Christmas yet.
Time. It's ready to go. Christmas. This was the first weekend of, I believe, winter. This was the first where it started to snow a little. It was, it had that feeling. It had that Christmas. Suddenly, because that's the thing about Christmas now. When I used to work retail in a big box store, they would start with the Christmas music the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
And it would be like 65 outside. You wouldn't feel any Christmas spirit. But now there's a little chill in the air. Now all the lights are on, and now you're really feeling that Christmas holiday spirit.
I don't even know what that means.
What?
Like, what does it even mean? Just like, why can't, what's the Christmas holiday spirit? Like, people are just happier?
No. Everyone's more miserable.
What happens when you feel the Christmas holiday spirit?
Sometimes, there's certain
I don't feel like
it's
Christmas until it's Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's Christmas when it's a little cold. You're starting to see the lights, the season. Not necessarily the actual Christmas, but actually the actual Christmas. You really start feeling the actual Christmas around the 23rd.
I feel that it's the winter season.
Yes, but I feel but no, after Christmas, then winter starts to really suck. Because then it's just like, oh, come on, get rid of this cold weather. We got to get the sunshine so I can take off my shirt and let the women look at my bod.
I want all the snow.
You want all
of the
snow. You love it.
apparently Alaska had like record-breaking snowfall. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So at one point, it was snowing 10 inches every hour.
And you would love that.
Hour. Can you believe that?
That would be awful.
It's like, imagine like you wouldn't be able to see anything.
Yes, I would agree. You'd be trapped.
It's crazy.
Your dream is to be trapped wherever you are.
No, it's just like, that sounds nice.
If you didn't have anywhere to go and you're with people that you want to be with, that's like cool.
Yeah.
But if you're like alone or with someone that you're not a huge fan of, or you're at work and all of a sudden there's 10 feet of snow every inch and now you're stuck at work.
Has it ever happened to you where you got like stuck with people when it snowed?
Well, when I used to work, I one time had a situation where I had to get to work and it was a big deal. And I normally my trip took about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It took me about 2.5 hours. I finally get to work. Nobody shows up for the whole time. And it's even snowing worse, so I had to like hang out with everybody at my work, and that sucked. Because then eventually you just run out of things to say, because you're still at work. You can't like get real. You can't like start talking about like real stuff. You're still,
I would love that.
What, just start talking about work stuff?
No, I'm saying I would love, like, I wouldn't mind being stuck at work with all the people that I work with.
Your work is cool because you're downtown. That's you're in a hub of activity. You're 5 steps away from many a restaurant.
Yeah, but like even if I wasn't 5 steps away from anything, I wouldn't mind being like stranded with the people that I work with. That's why I work with them.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, maybe you should get a better work.
I should get this work. This would be awesome. Have you and me, we'll broadcast live during a blizzard.
Oh, God, no.
Let everybody enjoy our company, and we have coffee and water, and that would be awesome. Maybe that's our dream, is that suddenly we walk outside. No, Millvale snowed in. Alex and Mike have to do live broadcast of the Mike Sasson Show continuous during the Christmas
Sounds
season.
exhausting.
I know, but I would love it. Anyways, speaking of positive things, a lot of positivity is happening in the world right now, and I want to, overshadow the negativity. A lot of negativity, but I want to overshadow it with positivity. First and foremost, this past week, I got a very nice compliment about the show.
Okay.
I was actually at our local haunt out in Mount Washington, Scarpazi's, and I walked outside, and this gentleman, was saying, "Hey, good job with your comedy. I enjoy your comedy." "Oh, thank you very much." And the guy was saying to his other buddy, he says, "Hey, you got to watch his show. His show is awesome." I'm like, "Oh, that's very nice." He goes, "You know why I love his show?" And by the way, I'm right there, but he's talking to his buddy. He goes, "You know why I love his show? Guy talks about real shit.
Jeez.
Talks about real life.
Yeah.
Not like brutal like stuff. He wasn't like real shit. He goes, no, he talks about real shit.
Like we're scumbags and boobs and things.
Yeah, scumbags, boobs, life. Like we're not. There's no pretense in this show. We're not pretending to be anybody. That's why the show's called the Mike Sasson Show and not like Happy Terrific Fun Time. No, it's called the Mike Sasson Show. I say my name, Alex Clemens. That's one of the things that I never got about. Like a lot of radio people that I met come up with fake names.
Yeah.
And I never understood that because they'd always sit there and I'd hear their real name. And it's not like their real name's that bad, but it would always just be like, why can't you just be who you are? Why can't you just, like, for instance, Rush Limbaugh, before he was Rush Limbaugh, when he was here in Pittsburgh, was named Bill Christie. And I'm like, what was wrong with being the DJ Rush Limbaugh? What would have been a problem with that?
I don't know. I might be happier, though, if I was like DJ Jazzy A.
I mean, like, you would be working at a certain type of radio station, but if your name's like...
No,
Alex,
I just want to change it to that now.
Okay.
Can we change it?
Sure.
It's not like my name's on the show, so I can change it whenever I want.
You made your name like 97
I think
times.
we should have a different name for me every show.
Okay. But, I mean, there's a huge... having Alex on is a big time... Like, a lot of people love Alex. That's why they love you.
I think they'll also love DJ Jazzy A.
Why DJ Jazzy A? What about DJ Jazzy C?
No, why?
Because you're Clemens.
No, but I'm Alex.
Okay. AC.
No, then I
DJ
sound
Jazzy
like
AC.
air conditioning.
No,
or
AC.
Aaron Carter.
Yeah,
I
you're
might get
cool.
confused.
You're cool. You're AC. Boom, win, victory. I come up with all sorts of good stuff. So I thought that was a very nice compliment.
That was a very nice compliment.
Yeah. So then I did a show this past weekend in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Scott Israel put it on. I appreciated him putting me on there. It was in a ballroom at a big Ramada hotel in Greensburg.
Yeah.
So it was a big ballroom, and there was a good-sized crowd there, probably about 40, 50 people there. It was a nice night. I go up there, and I do my set, do about 25 minutes, do very, very well. So feeling good about myself, I go over to my to the like where the entrance is, and I'm watching the other comics. Alex DePula was on, James J. Hamilton was on. So a lot of great comics, and I wanted to see them. This woman comes by, decent looking woman, so it caught my attention, whatever. She walks by me, and a couple people have already come up to me and shook my hand and said, "Hey, great job, great comic, great set."
Yeah.
This woman comes up to me and sits there and goes, "Hey, you're funny as hell. Thank you for coming out." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you very much." She goes, Yeah. If I didn't have a fiance, I would fuck the shit out of you."
Whoa.
And
That's very aggressive.
Yeah. And I thought that's pretty much the biggest compliment that you can get as a human being, as a compliment, as a performer. I liked your comedy so much that I would have sexual intercourse with you simply because of the fact that you were great on stage.
Was she drunk?
Probably. Anyways, the thing that got me though is again, being Mike, I think deeper into it.
Oh my God.
And I went like, that's actually a very mean thing to say to me. Because she sat there and said, "Hey, I thought you were funny. If I wasn't engaged, I would fuck the shit out of you." But she put in that caveat, "I'm engaged."
Yeah.
Which means like that would be like me coming up to you and be like, "Hey, Alex, you're doing such a great job in the show. I decided to give you $1 million. Except that I gave it to the guy outside so you don't get anything." Mm-hmm. That would be like, "Yeah, thanks. Why would you even mention it to me?"
Yeah, I guess.
That's really crappy.
Yeah, but what if she didn't say that?
If she said, "Hey, I want to bang you,"
Yeah.
then I would probably have been like, But like,
But she had to put that in there.
I mean, but that's the thing. I mean, I think that she could have just said, "Hey, nice show."
Well, yeah, but then you wouldn't be talking about it right now.
But I think personally, again, would you say that I mean, like, have you ever gone up to a gentleman and said, "Hey, I really liked what you did. I would really like to have sex with you if it wasn't for some situation that I'm in"?
No, I don't think so.
So, but have you ever gone up to someone and said, "Boom, right now, boom, let's do it," and then you're just like, but he has gone like, "No, I'm, whatever."
Someone refused me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I love how you were like that shocked by it.
It's a ridiculous
I
statement.
don't know. I just thought it was a lot of positivity and someone saying, "Hey, I really liked you and I'd have sex with you because of it, but I have the husband, or I have the fiance, and oh, by the way, the fiance was at the show."
Nice.
Which made it feel a little weird later.
Did you see him?
Yes, I did.
Did you shake his hand?
Yes, it did. It's a little weird. Anyway, something that wasn't at all weird, and something that was very happy that it happened. Was very proud of my younger brother, Tim.
Tim!
Who, we talk a lot about the fact that he's a great father. He's the father to my two nieces and one nephew. And he's also the offensive line coach for the Pine Richland Rams. And this past weekend, down in Hershey, the Pine Richland Rams won the state championship in 6A, which is the highest classification.
Well.
Which, again, great honor and have great group of kids, great coaching staff. Obviously, the star of the show being Phil Dracovic, who is go-anywhere quarterback going to Notre Dame. I mean, but his offensive line performed well. They kicked the holy snot out of St. Joe's Prep out of Philadelphia, 41 to 21. But the thing about this win, which is so big, is first and foremost, Pine Richland is a public school, which means that they just basically have to recruit from the kids in the neighborhood. They get the kids whatever. Whereas St. Joe's Prep gets kids from all over Philadelphia, all over New Jersey, all over Delaware, all over Maryland, because they're like Central Catholic. They've got that there.
Yeah.
And the thing that got me was the fact that it was such a positive feeling going through it, and it was such an amazing, because I was there when Tim was really, I mean, we both were there at Fox Chapel when Tim has gone 0-10. Tim has gone, his first 2 years, he went 0-10 and 1-9. So to go from 0-10 to 1-9 is to go that and then all the way to becoming a state champion. That is amazing. That is absolutely outstanding. And so it was also very, very inspiring to me because of the fact that, here I am in my line of work, entertainment, and you know what, it's there's been some highs, there's been some lows, but the fact that he stuck with it and the fact that he was able to do it and get to that highest pinnacle, it's really inspiring to say, hey, you know what, Mike, you just kind of keep growing and keep going like that. So again, kudos to Tim with the Pine Richland Rams and everything like that. So that was a spectacular win for him. And again, kudos to the entire district and everything like that. Going from there. Now you, on the other hand, had a great weekend. You talked about setting up your Christmas holiday season, but you did something that is kind of a unique, in my opinion, family tradition for you guys. You, Ken, were a huge person in terms of dance. You and your older sister, Abby.
Yeah.
And every year, you go back there, or at least you or your sister go back there and still dance with like the people that helped teach you dance, correct?
Yeah, this was actually the first year that I didn't do it. I did it since they started this Christmas show, so I think it was like 7 or 8 years. And so this was the first year that I didn't do it, and it was, I want to say, my sister's like third time maybe being in it. Yeah.
But I think it's really unique in the fact that you're grown women. You have jobs, you have other things that you can do, but you still go back to something that you've done, like, since you were, 6 or 7 years old?
2 years old.
2 years old. They put you in a dance class when you were 2 years old?
Yeah, you gotta start them young.
What could they do with you when you were 2 years old?
It's just to get the concepts in your brain, just to get you used to it. I was competing when I was 3.
My niece, Mia, is 3 years old right now, and she is essentially the Tasmanian devil. There's no control. You can't teach her anything.
Well, I was not a Tasmanian devil, but maybe because they put me in dance.
Maybe they should. Well, they put my niece Carly in dance, and she actually, there's a cute little video of her dancing to Genie in a Bottle. That was her. Yeah, it was her and her group.
Interesting song choice.
It's 2017. Lighten up. Anyways, but I thought it was interesting. Since you were 2 years old, you've been in dance classes.
Yeah.
That's it. To me, I can't imagine, because again, I've dealt with 2-year-olds in the past. To coach 2-year-olds would be, you want to talk about having the patience, the most incredible patience you could possibly ever describe.
Yeah, and then they had, when I was in high school, they had us teach, the little kids. So you're having, 16-year-olds teach, 2 and 3-year-olds. So if we could do it, anyone can do it.
But, you coach 2-year-olds.
Yeah.
How do you coach a 2-year-old?
Well, you're not teaching them, specific dance moves. You're kind of just, getting them into, having some type of rhythm and, kind of doing that and having more fun.
Okay, so you're just playing music.
It's basically just like them going to school, you're teaching them discipline and things.
So you're just saying, okay, everyone stand in line and let's all clap to the music or something like that.
Yeah, sure. Things like that. We did dance freeze. So we turn on music and then you have to dance while the music is playing, and then once you stop the music, you have to freeze,
Because I coached football in I coached 7th graders.
Yeah.
And a lot of times coaching 7th graders, which were 12, 13-year-old boys, was like trying to herd cats.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine trying to teach a kid at 2 years old.
But then imagine how much easier it is to teach those kids when they're 7th graders, because they've been preparing for it since they were 2 years old, and they're very disciplined.
Why did your parents get you into dance?
Well, they got my sister into dance because she was always dancing at home. She would never stop dancing. So they got her into it, and then I basically did whatever my sister did because I idolized her.
Why did your sister get into it?
I just told you.
What was it?
Because she was dancing all the time. Yeah, she just wouldn't stop dancing ever.
Okay.
So yeah, and
now
then,
were you dancing all that kind of good stuff as well?
No, I just followed what she did.
Okay, well there you go. And then obviously you can check out Alex's Snapchat, her Facebook page.
I do dance a lot.
And she does dance a lot. She's a big dancer. It's absolutely something that she does. Also, what else she does is she does a lot of drinking. We'll be talking about that in the next couple of minutes. But, when we come back, we're going to have Amanda Averill. She's a local comedian, funny as heck. She actually just came from the Arcade Comedy Theater, and she's putting on something to where she's going to help the troops, troop appreciation. She's going to be putting on a show. She's going to be telling us more about it after the break. Again, my name's Mike Sasson. You're listening to The River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com. My name's Mike. That's Alex. We will be right back.
Brian Crawford letting you know that Kevin Slogic, my State Farm agent in Allison Park, is here to help life go right and reminds you that you're listening to the River's Edge Radio Network.
Come on, go! It's green! Come on! Go!
God damn it, Brian. You need to calm down with the road
I'm sick
rage.
of these people, these assholes.
It's the road rage, man. You gotta calm down on the road rage.
Well, I'm on I want to get to where we're going. We have a lot of great stuff coming up. We're going to the Falling Water,
Bicycle Heaven.
the Mattress Factory,
Tuck Knob.
Trundle Manor. All right, which way do I go? Which way do I go? Come on,
right,
come on.
right.
Too late now.
Right, come on.
Well, too late now. I got to keep going. I'm not going to sit here like some asshole.
Oh, come on, man.
All right, you're listening to The Culture Cruise. You can find us at riversedgepgh.com.
Your local Pittsburgh area museum podcast.
Yes, riversedgepgh.com, and come take a ride with us.
Hi, I'm Rob Spear, host of Damn Near Killed 'Em, an interview show where anything goes.
Once they gave it to me, you could have stuck a telephone pole up my ass.
I was about to be kicked out of the country.
That's where they send the worst of the worst.
In a psych ward, normal things seem so weird in there.
He was making $5,000 a month doing gay audiobooks.
Hear some stories from people who have been to the edge and back. Thursday morning at 9 a.m. on riversedgepgh.com or download on iTunes.
I mean, that's some pretty cool shit.
You are back on the Mike Sasson Show. We are broadcasting live on the River's Edge. Again, the best local talk and the best local music at www.riversedgepgh.com. Or you're listening on TuneIn Radio across the planet Earth. Or you are watching us live on Facebook Live. Or you are listening after the fact on one of the many podcast formats, Google Play, SoundCloud, or iTunes. Again, it's the holiday season. We're all trying to give, trying to make ourselves better people, and a group of people that obviously gave us a lot over the last couple of years, and really for the whole history of the United States, our troops. We have some people here that have put together a concert down at Rutgers on the South Side this Saturday, the 16th of December at 7:30. There'll be a $10 suggested donation. It is Sherry Einhaus and comedian Amanda Averill. Thank you and welcome to the show. Thank you very much, Sherry.
Thank you.
Speaking to the microphone.
Thank you for having me.
There you go. Audio. It's a weird thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Thanks, Mike, for having us.
No
here today.
problem. Again, first and foremost, Amanda, obviously know you from being a comedian. Now, Sherry, you're with Operation Troop Appreciation?
Yes.
What is Operation Troop Appreciation?
Operation Troop Appreciation is a military support organization. We are 100% volunteer run and completely nonprofit. We are run by donations from corporations, general public, and things such as this fundraiser.
Now, is it a national organization or locally here in Pittsburgh?
Local here in Pittsburgh.
Local here. So all of the money that would be raised is going to troops here, or people coming home who are Western Pennsylvania natives and people here?
Mostly. We do send to whatever troop from locally, but we send to their entire unit when we pack a box. So it will be used mostly for local, but everybody in that unit will benefit from whatever we send.
So essentially what's going to happen is it's going to raise money, and then so our troops overseas, obviously still in the Middle East, or over in Europe, wherever, are getting a box for Christmas or for New Year's or something like that, correct?
And we send once a month.
And we send, now what typically are the most popular items that come into that box?
Everything that we send on a normal basis: shampoo, soap, razors, shaving cream, certs, a lot of chapstick, sunscreen, those kinds of things. We also do a lot of beef jerky, snack type of things, and then special requests. Lately, we've gotten special requests for Swedish fish, Nutella, anything they can't get from going down to the local store like we do.
Yeah, I mean, obviously going down to the local store in
in the middle of Afghanistan.
In Kabul might be a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, it's not a walk around the corner.
Not at all.
Not at all.
So we can't get it there today, but we'll send them whatever they ask for.
Now, Amanda, how did you get involved in this organization?
I was approached by someone who's worked with the organization before. They asked me if I would host this lovely musical endeavor and comedic endeavor this Saturday, and I of course said yes, because why not? They're a 501c3 nonprofit, and they're doing good for people who, really need our support, and it's just a good thing to do. I'm one of those good altruistic people, Mike.
You know what, Amanda, I've absolutely known you to be that type of person, absolutely. So how did this organization begin? When did this organization begin, and how did it begin?
13 years ago, Kristen, our founder, had the brother of her best friend was deployed. And so in sending emails back and forth, found out that they needed Under Armour But of course, the military grade Under Armour is a lot more expensive than just going to the local store and buying. So she started collecting from friends, family, and they were able to outfit the entire unit. And so seeing the need across the board, it just...
Is it one of those things where the military, and not to bash them, but obviously they're a giant entity, where it's the old, $50 for a hammer type deal, so where something that you can get at the local supermarket, it's a little bit, obviously they might jack up the price because they're kind of deal, obviously because of the fact that, you're getting Under Armour, there's not exactly a Dunham's or a Dick's Sporting Goods in Cobble, so obviously the price gets jacked up a little bit.
Well, and the grade is different, so it is a lot more expensive to make, but yes, and some of these things the Army doesn't provide, or the other branches don't necessily provide.
The armed forces don't give the troops Swedish fish.
No,
that is an issue.
I know. No,
I would run on that. That would be my thing. If I was a senator, I'd be like, why don't our troops, they should have the military apart. And the simple fact of the matter is, if you're over there protecting our freedom, part of the freedom is beef jerky and Swedish fish.
I agree.
And they don't get it.
Mike, I would just like to see you run for Swedish fish. Yes. I would love to see that.
I would be the Swedish fish congressman. I would think, at this point, I'm not to get political. At this point, I think this water bottle might, this could win some elections at this point, and it might be empty in a couple minutes. Anyways, but going back to the actual, now it's going to be music and comedy.
Yeah, I'm going to be hosting, and I'm going to be doing a comedy set there this Saturday, and there's a bunch of different local bands who are, putting their musical talents on display, to try and raise money for the troops, for a great organization that's just going to provide a little bit of home to people who aren't home, which is really nice.
And so once a month, basically, you guys put together a package. Now, if someone wanted to actually to donate without going to the show, is there a website to where they could go to or anything like that?
www.operationtroopappreciation.org.
And let's say physically someone said, okay, you know what, I'd like to go buy a pallet of Swedish fish. I'd like to go buy a pallet of beef jerky or something like that. Is there a place where they could drop it off or anything like that?
Our one and only location is in West Mifflin, about a half mile from Century 3 Mall.
There you go. Yeah. Unbelievable. And then and what are some of the bands? What type of bands? What are some of the bands that are going to be there?
There's a bunch of different eclectic bands who are going to be performing. One is the Filthy Lowdown. I gotta be honest, I went to school with those guys, so that's the first one on the top of my list there. The other one is Stone Cold Killers, the Wire Riots. It's gonna be just like a great night of music and comedy. It starts.
What type of music would it be? I mean, is this
Filthy Lowdown's more of like a punk band, so it's gonna be kind of like an eclectic, like punk rock type of show down there at Ruggers, which is great for letting us have that event down there too.
Again, Ruggers down on the south side, so East Carson Street, that whole vibe down there. Yep. So obviously you'd be there. It's starting at 7:30. Yes. Obviously, going to be comedy, going to be there, going to be donate. And again, it's suggested donation of $10. Whatever you can do. Obviously, if you've been blessed a little bit more, obviously they appreciate more. But a suggested donation of $10 to enjoy the comedy and enjoy the music and everything like that. Now, and Sherry, I mean, the funny thing about it is I think a lot of people, because of the fact that the news media has not really focused on it, think that almost like that the situation is over. Like, that because you don't see it every day and everything like that, as maybe it was 5 or 10 years ago. But we still have troops all over the globe that, so, I mean, is the need greater now, or is it in curtail? I mean, talk about, the need to make sure that we can get these things to these people.
As long as there are troops deployed, there is a need, as far as we're concerned. But there are going to be a lot more deployments after the first of the year. But we also cater to veterans. Here locally, we provide what we call welcome home kits, laundry detergent, cleaning supplies, kitchen supplies, bathroom supplies, anything that they need as they come out of active duty. But we also support any veteran. So if they are homeless and get a place, they have absolutely nothing. So we work with the caseworkers and provide things for them here locally as well.
Well, again, with the holiday season coming up, you have count your blessings, and again, all of the freedoms that we have because of these guys. So again, Saturday, the December 16th at Ruggers on the south side, $10 donation, starts at 7:30. Great music, great comedy. Sherry, thank you very much for coming in here, and Amanda, thank you very much. And again, we'll post the link and obviously post the flyer there, and we'll post it on my web page and everything like that. And we'll go from there. Sherry, Amanda, thank you very much for coming in here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Again, it's the Mike Sasson Show. We will be right back with bar thoughts and experiences and my top 5 takes. Again, this Saturday, December 16th, 7:30, $10 donation at Ruggers on the South Side. Support the troops. Thank you very much. We are back with the Mike Sasson Show live at Mr. Small's Theater Studios. You are listening again at www.riversedgepgh.com on the River's Edge, which has the best local music and local talk. Again, my name is Mike Sasson. That is producer extraordinaire Alex Clemens. Again, you can be listening to us on TuneIn Radio or on SoundCloud, iTunes, or Google Play, or you could be watching us right now on Facebook Live, where we are going to be talking about, again, we're talking about our troops, the freedom. Alex uses her freedom to get her drink on. That's why
That's
always,
the only thing I do.
Yeah, you know what? It's your biggest thing, and I'll tell you this right now. If we all talk to the troops, they'd sit there and if you sent a big old, hey, thanks for the ability for me to get my drink on the Saturday nights, they'd sit there and say, you know, Semper Fi.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it because it's Alex. It's Bar Thoughts and Experiences. Play your song.
Maybe y'all can relate. My style's dope any way that you slice it. It's a fresh cut, hope that you like it.
What is your bar thought for this week, Alex?
I got my dance on yesterday.
There you go. You got your dance
Mostly
on.
like this. I was sitting in a booth, so it was like, it was much easier. I wasn't as self-conscious about what I was doing while I was dancing. But I realized that I'm really great at talking to men sometimes.
Oh, sometimes?
Well, yeah, most of the time.
Okay. Yeah, don't be humble. If you're laying it down that you know how to talk to dudes, don't be like, well, sometimes I'm a little shy. No, you know how to talk to dudes.
So I had 2 instances where I realized this yesterday.
Okay. 2.
Yeah. So
not 1. 2.
Yeah, so I went out with my sister and all my dance friends and stuff, and we were at Mario's in Southside, real classy place.
Yes.
You know, you ever been there?
I have been.
Yeah. So this guy, I saw him like look at me, and I was like, oh, this dude looks really familiar. Like, why do I know him? Why do I know him? And his eyes are really big, so they're just like staring at me like bug eyes.
Turns out it was me.
Yeah, just creeping. Like, I could honestly see you. Like, I'm pretty sure I have seen you at Mario's, like, just sitting in a booth, like, by yourself. And I was like, oh, hey, Mike.
And then
that happened.
And then I just look at you, and I'm just like, get away from me.
Yeah,
No.
you just don't speak to anyone.
No.
But anyway, so I saw this guy look at me, and I was like, oh, I know he's going to come talk to me. And he, like, was about to talk to me, and then I immediately turned to one of my friends and, like, started talking to them. Dodged that one.
Okay. Because he was ugly and screw him.
No.
Okay.
That's
All
just
right.
mean.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
anyways.
Truthful, but go ahead.
Yeah, so he came around, and eventually he was like, Alex. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this guy knows my name.
Wow.
And I don't remember him at all.
Okay.
And he came up to me, and he was like, I can tell in your face that you don't remember me at all. And I was like, I don't. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't really remember
I'm
you.
so blitzed. I'm so blitzed
sorry.
right now.
No, I wasn't even like, that was like almost the beginning of the night.
Oh, really? So this was just...
So I had like 6 drinks, but you know.
Yeah, you had 6 drinks and a couple lines, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, honestly, I don't remember you. And he was like, I just met you like a couple weeks ago. Apparently I met him on Thanksgiving Eve. And he was like, he told me this. He said, you were hardcore hitting on me. And I was like,
Wow.
Was I though?
Really? Was this the night when you were dancing on the window?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were pretty much hitting on the entire city.
Every single person that came into that bar that night. Yeah. And so I guess he just took it a little step further. And I remember after he said that, I was like, oh, okay, I remember talking to you. And I was trying to be real nice about it and stuff. And he was like, oh, do you remember my name? I was like, no, dude, I don't remember your name. He remembered where I was from. He like remembered.
Do you realize you have the worst memory in America?
Yeah, but like still people should be drunk and like not remember things. Not remember things that specifically. Come on.
Okay, Alex from Baldwin. That's not that hard to remember.
It's just my beauty. It just distracts people.
Oh, it just distracts people. I'm so good looking.
Anyways,
so awful.
So I had to guess his name, and at the same time, I was trying to think of this TV show, like the name of the TV show.
Okay.
So I was like, "There's a lot going on in my head right now." I told him that.
I know 2 things.
Yeah, and he was like, "You even told me last time that you had a boyfriend." I guess I lied to him and just picked up a guy off the street and was like, "This is my boyfriend."
And it was like a cab driver, and he's just like, "I do not know what you're talking about."
Yeah, that's exactly how it went. Okay. So I was like, "Yeah, the guy with the beard." I assumed he had a beard.
Yeah, it's 2017 on the South Side. Yeah, that's not exactly a shot in the dark.
And he was like, yeah.
Was his shirt really tight and everything like that? Yeah.
And
Way
he
to
was
go.
like, but at least you remember your boyfriend's name. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I remember Abdul. Absolutely. Yeah, he's a great guy.
But so at the end of this conversation, I was like, I just want to let this guy leave on a good note since I didn't remember anything about him. So we made up like this. I told him, I was like, this is probably going to happen again. So you should just prepare yourself for that, first of all. Like, you're probably going to see me in a couple weeks. This whole situation will just happen completely.
Full disclosure,
again.
I've known Alex for close to 4 years. I have done a show with her for close to 2 years. There are nights where she forgets me.
Yeah.
So just understand that.
But then we created this cool handshake so that every time we do see each other, we'll have this cool interaction. But I'll remember this handshake. That's what I have to remember.
All right.
His name is Seamus.
Seamus.
How am I supposed to remember that? Come on. If your name was like Joe.
Well, okay, first off, actually, I think if you have a more unique name, that would be easier to remember than if the guy was named Bob or Mike or Tony or something.
Yeah.
So if the guy's Seamus, how many Seamuses are running around Pittsburgh?
I don't know. But, I mean,
Was the guy decent looking? Is he like... Oh, so he's ugly. So why would you...
I'm afraid he might find me now.
Probably.
He knows everything about me. He's going to find me and then see the show and he's going to be like, oh my God, she called me ugly and now my whole life is ruined.
Just understand, Seamus, she did not call you ugly. I called you ugly.
Exactly.
All right, Mike Sasson called you ugly because here's the deal. I know, Alex, if you were good looking, the story would have been slightly different.
Yeah. But I felt really good about it just because I felt like we left on a good note and I was like... I feel like he was in a happy mood leaving, even though I didn't mind.
How do you best do that when you're just being nice to somebody and, okay, you smile fakely like that, but
That was a real smile.
That was not real at all. That was the kind of smile you give me when you're like, hey, Alex, guess what? We're going to do a show live somewhere. And you're just like, I hate life. No, how do you make sure when you're nice to everyone because you're a nice person?
I am a nice person.
But obviously sometimes niceness can be viewed as flirtatious.
Yeah, because apparently I was hardcore hitting on him.
Hardcore hitting on. When you probably just were like, hey, how you killer boots,
I think
dude.
that the grinding on the windows really got him.
But again, if I saw a woman grinding on the windows, I understand that A, she's probably drunk, and B, she's not grinding on the window for me. She's grinding on the windows for everyone.
Yeah, I don't know if he got that part.
Okay, but how do you separate and make sure that you go, hey, I like you, and I don't like you. I'm just being nice because I'm a nice person and I want to spread joy in the universe. I don't want to bone you.
I think you just set certain boundaries, like you talk about some stuff, but you won't go into further detail, like you always leave the rest of your life kind of like a mystery. Like you don't get too into things with that person.
Okay, all right. So let's go over. Name, obviously you can't get around name.
Yeah.
Work.
No, because then they can come visit you.
But would you give a general like what I do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but you wouldn't sit there and be, I work at blah 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 street, whatever.
I tell them I'm a stripper.
Okay, stripper, which honestly would pique his interest.
Do you think, I don't know. Do you think that would make them like me more? But that might make them never want to date me.
Here's the thing. Recently I was at a social situation where I was talking to a woman and someone came up to me after I was done talking to her and the person said, hey, that girl is a stripper. Now, here was my reaction.
Yes.
Well, first off, there was a part of me, it was like, wait a minute. So there is a location somewhere nearby where for $1 I could see that woman naked?
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, yeah, you're sitting there and you kind of do change your attitude of like, okay, that's not someone I'm looking to date. That's someone that I'm looking to, have a certain type of relationship very quickly in the public bathroom.
Yeah.
But, okay, so strippers not. But, okay, so you would say you would do work, but you wouldn't give specific work. How about background? Would they know what school you went to?
I probably said that, but that's one of those ones that I would just let slide.
Okay, your major in college, would you have talked about that?
No.
Okay, the fact that you went to a college.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, they would know that you went to Point Park.
I went to college.
Okay.
No.
You would not tell them you went to Point Park?
I went to college.
Okay.
I made friends.
So how do you do this? A guy's trying to sit there and say...
You just cut them off.
You just cut them off. So, hey, Alex, where'd you go to school?
Oh, my God, did you see that guy?
See, that doesn't work. I mean, I'm focused on you. I'm sitting there going, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I went to college.
Okay, but which college?
Oh, yeah. And then you just turn around real quickly and start talking to your friend for a second because they needed you.
So essentially you basically just blow the guy off.
No. Then you turn back around and start talking to them again. It's just that now they're not focused on that question.
That would not work with me.
Well, you're also a weird person, Mike.
How am I a weird person?
You just you don't let things go ever.
I know. I have a memory. But I played football, so why haven't those concussions come in play
I don't
yet?
know. That's what I talked to him about. I said I have a lot of concussions. I got a lot of concussions from like parades and things.
There you go, parades and things. That's a nice sports bar in Yugoslavia. I don't know.
So I had another circumstance that yesterday night where I was like, oh, okay, I might be good at this, and everyone was impressed by my skills.
Okay, so first one you were kind of that was like the warm up. Now second one.
No, I was great at that one.
Okay, good. All right.
But
I disagree with that assessment. But
this
go ahead.
one.
All
Well,
right.
I left the guy feeling very nice. You didn't hear our whole conversation.
Okay,
we were like very like.
Okay.
That's exactly how we were.
All right.
But anyway, so me and all my friends were sitting in this booth there, and one of my friends was texting this guy, and she wanted him to come meet up with us. And she was like, I don't know, I feel like he's not on board. And she was like, I'm going to the bathroom. Take my phone. And I was like, I got this. That's what I said. And so he was like, I don't know. Like there was only an hour left until the bars closed. He was like, I don't know. An hour seems like a pretty like short amount of time to like spend with you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, an hour is a long time at a bar. You'll never know the fun that we'll have. Like people will write stories about it. And then immediately after, he said, I'll be there in 15.
Okay, but here's how I would view it. If some woman texted me at 1 a.m, said, hey, come hang out at the bar, that's borderline. The next step is, hey, do you want to go hang out at your house?
Well, we were also with a bunch of people.
Okay.
So it's not like, hey, I'm at the bar, like, by myself, getting drunk, getting crazy. But like, necessarily that wasn't like the the end goal.
But you're saying that's a great line to get him to come out. Like, hey, you'll never know. Because it might be a night where they'll write stories about it.
Yeah.
That is neat. And he came out?
Yeah, and we had like a little bit of a conversation after that. And I was like, everyone was really impressed by the things that I said.
One of the things that it was almost in news and notes this week, but there's a woman who now has a job. She charges $1,000 for each interaction in which she helps wealthy clients talk on social media like Tinder and all those kind of things where the guy will be like, I don't know what to say to her, and she'll be like, say this, blah 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 blah.
See, I want to do that. Maybe I should do that for poor people who can't afford this woman.
How much would you charge?
Give dating and advice.
How much would you charge? A beer?
No, a little bit more than that.
Maybe
beer
like $5.
Yeah, a beer and like $5 an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
It's going to take more than an hour for you to get this done?
I don't know how desperate and like how undateable they are.
So would you set a price? You're like, all right, this is going to be an hourly rate of $5, and you look pretty undateable.
And you have to give me a beer every hour.
A beer every hour.
Least.
Now, would your ability increase or decrease per beer?
Oh, increase.
So by like 10 beers in, you're like an insane. This
person's like getting married tomorrow.
Absolutely. You're going to be at the wedding texting away going, you know what, I'm the one who did it.
This was me.
This was you.
That would be like Hitch,
Yeah, you'll be Hitch, except not unwatchable. Anyways.
That's horrible.
The movie was horrible. Anyways, it's the Mike Sasson Show. That was Bar Thoughts and Experiences with Alex. Again, Alex teaching everyone how to live their life. I do the same thing. It's called My 5 Takes. Play my song. Again, it's 5 takes. These are my bar thoughts and experiences, but I don't drink, which means I think they're a little nuttier. Number 5. So I was in Millvale getting ready for the show. I was down at the local convenience store getting my water. And
Just now?
Actually, this happened last week, but I didn't think about it last week. Anyway, so I was sitting there, I was getting my water, and these two people are having a conversation in front of me at the register. And it eventually got down to the gist of the story was this woman needed to get a van from her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend, but the woman wasn't giving the van up and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So eventually the woman's trying to describe to the person behind the counter the woman, and she sits there and goes, you know, Denise, she lives up the street. She was all in here. She's wearing a shirt, named she's wearing her Troy Polamalu jersey, and the woman goes, oh, you mean the one who's pregnant? And then without a hitch, she sits there and goes, nah, she ain't pregnant. She's just fat.
Oh, jeez.
And I sat there and went, you know what? I kind of want to meet a woman I don't want to like talk to her, but like I've always been intrigued by the whole like you're so fat that people think that you're pregnant because that's a certain type of fat.
Yeah, it has to be in certain areas.
Exactly. Like now, when you're dealing with someone that is on that borderline, do you bring it up or do you?
I don't ever bring up people's pregnancies ever.
Neither do I. I never understood someone who would sit there and say like, "Oh, I got caught because I said, oh, when are you expecting?" And they're like, "Expecting what? Oh, faux pas." Like, why would you bring it up?
Yeah, why do you care? Who cares when they're expecting?
Because ultimately you're in a conversation with someone that you have nothing in common with, and so you're just trying to come up with something that you could talk about, which is why.
Well, what do you do with people who aren't pregnant? Just do the same.
You do weather and sports.
Yeah,
and
just do that with a pregnant person.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I feel bad for pregnant people sometimes because I feel like that's all they ever get to talk about once they're pregnant. You know, it's like no one actually cares about their life and what they're doing. It's just about the baby now.
Pregnant people love that attention. I
would say some pregnant people love that.
If you love attention, get pregnant because you will get a ton more. And it's all positive. Oh, you're glowing. You're beautiful. When's the baby? You're beautiful. Blah, 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 blah. All that kind of stuff.
Or your ankles look swollen.
No,
it's the bad kind of attention.
Would you ever say that to a pregnant woman?
I'm a nice person. I'll never say that.
Have you ever heard someone bring up like oh my God, you look so much uglier now that you're pregnant?
I just always think of it as like your like mother-in-law. Like your nasty mother-in-law. That's what she would say.
Yeah.
Your ankles are swollen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, honey, your ankles look swollen today.
So
she says it in like kind of a nice way, but it's actually mean.
How would you deal with that if you were with your man and his mom came up to you when you were pregnant with her future grandchild and said, "Oh, Alex, you'll get your figure back. Don't worry about it." Blah, 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 blah.
I said, Nancy.
Nancy, that's her name? Okay.
It's always Nancy.
And this one's Nancy. Nancy's a bitch's name is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say probably like, Nancy, why would you say that? Like, you haven't gotten your figure back.
Boom, roasted.
Nancy.
There you go. That was number 5. Number 4, I've learned that you ever been in a situation where you start a story and then in the middle of the story you realize you shouldn't have started that story?
Yes.
This happened to me about 3 or 4 days ago. I was doing a mic, and at the mic, they were talking about the theme of the mic was music. Ew. And so I started my a story about when I used to do security at the Meadows Music Theater in Hartford when I was in college. So now this is nearly like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But so I'm in front of this, but at the mic, typically it'd been okay because most of the people are in and around my age. But in this one, it was near Pitt, so everyone was like under 22. But I didn't realize that until I started the story. Because I started as like, so I was working the Lilith Fair. And everybody looks at me like, what the fuck is the Lilith Fair?
I don't even know what that is.
I know. It's a festival that Sarah McLachlan started. It was all women. It was an all women. It was a big deal that like all women were going to be performing music and like Bonnie Raitt was on it.
Yeah.
10,000 Maniacs, all these other kind of people. But I started the story and I realized they didn't even get this. And then the whole point of the story was the guy who I was working for at the time was saying a bunch of weird stuff about lesbians. And I'm sitting there going, these people are super politically correct.
Super into lesbians.
Yeah, super into, lesbians and not in the way I am. But and I sat there and I went, you know what? I really shouldn't have started this story. So I just ended it with, and it was a good time. And that's just how
And then everyone was like, okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it always sucks when you start a story that you shouldn't have. Kind of like what
Did it get better?
What?
Did it get better than Mike?
No. Anyways, number 3. You ever go through like a week or two of a certain food craving? Like every time you say, like right now, I'm on Welch's fruit snacks.
Oh, really?
I love them.
Huh.
I'm getting them. They're just,
I can't even.
Go ahead.
I feel like watching you eat Welch's fruit snacks would be hilarious. Do you
Why
get
is
like
that?
the little tiny bags of them?
No, I get the big bag and then I'm just like, rah, yeah.
Okay,
I'm a grown man. I
not
get big
as
bag.
hilarious.
Not as hilarious.
I think if you had like the little tiny packs of them, that would just be adorable.
I think that
Just
it would,
like this big man just eating these little tiny fruit snacks.
No, I always get the big industrial size. What currently is your food craving that you're going through right now?
I actually was craving pizza today, which I don't normally do. Mm-hmm. And pizza's not like one of my things, but I saw a Little Caesars commercial and they like had a very delicious looking pizza on there, and I was like, I need that.
What I'm talking about is though that like you go like a week or two and you go to like Kentucky Fried Chicken like 6 times in a week.
Yeah.
When's
it's usually Chick-fil-A for me.
Chick-fil-A for
Yeah.
you? Chick-fil-A, now that it's so close to my work, that's a once a week, but I almost have to stop myself like, hey, I've been there too many times.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to ruin it for them.
I used to dance across the street from Chick-fil-A, and I would go there like at least 4 days out of the week. It was a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of chicken nuggets in my stomach.
A lot of chicken nuggets. That be your go-to, chicken nuggets?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing I get.
Really? You don't get the grilled chicken nuggets?
Ew, come on, Mike. That's
love
just
those.
a sin.
What
That's
are you talking
stupid.
about? I love them.
Why even go there?
Because
just
grilled chicken...
grill your own nuggets.
No,
it's ridiculous.
No, it's because, that's how you get all jacked.
I was very upset
like me.
because they changed the menu too. Like they
Okay.
changed. Since Chick-fil-A opened, I've always gotten the same thing, and it was always a number 5 8-pack with a sweet tea. And then they changed the stupid number of it.
Stupid sons of bitches.
So now it's like a number 3 or I don't know. I don't even know. I can't even remember it now.
Yeah, so now you just throw stuff on the
Pissed.
ground and you run out.
Yeah, but I mean, I still love Chick-fil-A. I'm still going to go there.
There you go. Number 2, sometimes things just aren't for you. Like this past week, Ryan Shazier hurt his back against the Cincinnati Bengals, and a lot of people then came out and they were like, oh, I couldn't imagine ever watching football or playing football and all this kind of stuff. And my point being is, like, again, maybe football just is not for you. Same thing with, like, comedy. You always get that when someone says, oh, I'm a stand-up comedian. They always go, oh, I could never do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not for you. I love it. I love getting in front of a group of people and making them laugh. It's
maybe
incredible.
it's just to make you feel better that, like, wow, that's really, really, like, brave and awesome of you that you can do that, because I don't think I ever could.
Some of it is sometimes it's that. A lot of times it's literally them going, oh, I could never do that. I'm like, yeah, it's my thing. No, seriously, I'd be so scared. I'm like, no, I'm so. No, seriously, I could do. I'm just like, okay, I get it.
And then at the end of the conversation, they're like, maybe I should try that sometime.
And then
They have a complete switch.
And I say the same thing always. I go to a mic.
Do it.
I always
do it.
Every time anybody ever comes up to me and they say, I've always wanted to try stand-up comedy, and I'm just like, okay, there's a mic tomorrow.
Do it.
Do it.
Go for it, girl.
Do it.
I'll
Go
root
for
you
it.
on. I'll cheer for you. I'll be there with my pom-poms.
There you go. Win, victory. Number 1 is a little bit of a serious one. August Ames, adult film star, committed suicide this past
Jesus.
week. And a lot of people are blaming bullying because she posted a tweet last week essentially saying that she didn't want to have sex with someone who had also done gay pornography.
Okay.
And so then a lot of people went at her and said, you're homophobic and you're terrible and all this kind of stuff. And so then when that happened, then someone said that maybe they were linked, whatever like that. And she's dead. She hung herself.
Oh my God.
And then there's this story right now about the kid out of Tennessee who was bullied so much that his mom took a photo, like a movie of it, and said, "Hey, talk to him." And she, and the kid, it just hurts you because we've all been there. I was bullied in school. Everyone's been bullied in school. And the thing that just gets me, and this is just my take, if you're a bully, you're the biggest piece of dog shit in the history of the world. Now, you might say, Mike, you're a comedian. Aren't comedians bullies? Certain comedians are. Certain comedians are not. I try to punch up, which means you don't punch down. You don't go for someone that's, beneath you on the social status or beneath you in terms of whatever. You sit there, okay, I make fun of the president. I make fun of rich people. I make fun of athletes. I make fun of, society. I don't make fun of, Dave from, he's, look at Dave, he's poor and I hate him. You don't do that. By the way, great bit if you want to take it. But again, if you're bullying someone, if I ever found out that my kid was bullying, it'd be over for that kid.
Yeah.
And if anybody ever bullied my kid, if I go to, I take the suspension and I take the kid. I take the hit if it meant that I'd have to go. I'd probably just go beat up his dad. That's what I would do. And then I would make fun of him about it. Anyways, that was Top 5 Takes. Coming up after this, we're going to be doing News and Notes and Teacher of Merit, and then we'll be all done. It's the Mike Sasson Show. We will be right back on the River's Edge.
Hey, River's Edge listeners, Alex here from the Mike Sasson Show, and boy, have I got to tell you about Salon 22, a small local business located right here in Millville. I got my hair colored there about 2 weeks ago, and I still can't stop staring at myself. They use this awesome new technique called color melting to make me look like a mermaid. But don't worry, if mermaid hair isn't your thing, they'll meet all your hair goals, with things like balayage, rose gold, unicorn hair, ombre, as well as monochromatic color, which is your standard basic coloring. Seriously, they do it all, and they do it good. Check Salon 22 out on Facebook and mention this ad when you make your appointment to receive a free color lock service to help preserve your color. It's a $20 value for free. I'm not kidding. Book your appointment now by calling 412-822-7222. That's 412-822-7222.
It's the Mike Sasson Show, live on the River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com or on TuneIn Radio across the planet Earth or on several of the podcast formats, iTunes, Google Play, or SoundCloud, or you're watching us live on Facebook Live. Again, my name is Mike Sasson. That is Alex Clemens. She is the producer of the show. And right now, we honor the educators of America with Teacher of Merit. This week's Teacher of Merit is actually a local teacher. She teaches at Summit Academy. Her name is Jordan Ondish, and she is accused of having sexual relations with a student in her special education class. Now, the reason why I believe she deserves to be honored is, number one, the fact that she teaches at Summit Academy, which if you are not aware of Summit Academy is actually for adjudicated youth, which means it's for people who committed crimes.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what Summit Academy is. It's for basically if you either go in there or juvie. So again, thank you very much for Jordan, because what happened was the way they caught him was she gave her student a cell phone, and on that cell phone were explicit text messages. But one of the reasons why it was easy to catch him is because you're at Summit Academy, you're not allowed to have cell phones.
Oh.
So pretty easy.
She looks like she's 12.
She's 24 years old. She just got hired.
She does not look like she's 24. She looks like she could honestly be 12 years old.
Well, guess what? She'll be, by the time she's out of jail, she'll be well past 12 years old, because she is a Teacher of Merit. Congratulations, Jordan.
Woo!
Again, we'll send you the T-shirt once we can afford one. But again, I always find it funny that you threw away your career over a kid at Summit Academy.
You don't know this kid? He could have been just top-notch quality.
She's a special education.
Maybe he was trying to change his life around. He did something bad when he was younger, but he's trying to change his life around. And she just really admired that passion in him and that drive. And she's like, yes.
Have you ever been with someone who had spent a significant time in jail?
No.
Would you?
It depends.
On how good looking the guy is?
That would be fourth.
What would be 1 through 3?
Number one would be, what are you in jail for?
Okay.
That's a pretty good one.
What are the screwable offenses? You'd be like, I'd still go for it.
I'd say maybe stealing.
Money laundering.
Sure.
Okay. The white collar crimes, you'd be all for it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think that I would want anyone that murdered anyone.
Okay.
Or
drug dealer.
Yeah, drug dealers are fine. Depends on what drugs, though.
Okay.
There's a lot of stipulations to this.
Okay. So drugs, okay. Murder, no.
No, I don't think murder.
Okay.
I don't think.
You don't
Unless
think?
they were they did it as oh, this person wrongfully killed so-and-so, so I had to kill them. So that might be an exception. Maybe.
But it also depends how good looking.
Right.
Okay.
And if they're, like I said, if they're on that path, they're I want to change, I'm ready to get back out into the world and really become a better person.
What if they're just insanely good looking and they go, no, I'm not changing anything, I'm still selling drugs?
Oh, if they're still selling, it depends on what drugs it is.
Again, Alex, it's a myriad in the side of a riddle, and it's all sorts of good. It's the Alex Clemens Show about who she would have sex with, depending on what you'd be you need a law degree. That's what you need. You need to get a law degree to figure out which things that you would and what you wouldn't do.
Okay.
Again, that was Teacher of Merit. Thank you very much for Alex for chipping in, because it's important to know what you would do. Next up is the greatest segment in the history of segments. It is News and Notes on the Mike Sasson Show. Play the song. It's News and Notes. It's about sports and comedy and just all sorts of crazy wackiness. Again, this is a local story.
Woo!
Tom Fallon is a like a landlord, place out in Castle Shannon. And this woman would always come home and her clothes would be all rustled up. And so she's sitting there going like, someone might be coming into my house. So what she did was she set up like a little spy camera
and like a teddy bear?
Yeah, something like that. Like it's all like cloak and dagger type stuff. And to her dismay, she saw her maintenance guy / landlord walking in, which is why the only reason I didn't have a picture of him, so I have the creepy guy from Family Guy. That's
Okay.
I
got it.
Because he's 67 years old, the gentleman who did this.
Nice.
Walked in, and she has video of him pleasuring himself into her clothing.
That would kind of suck if you're like, why does my clothes always smell this weird smell?
Smells like
You're
old
like,
people.
Oh, I've been wearing someone else's jizz around all the time.
Yeah. I mean, you'd at least take it to the cleaners or something.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe just throw away your clothes at that point. I don't think I'd ever be able to tell if that was happening to me.
You would never notice because your room's so messed up
Yeah,
anyway.
it's ridiculous. Yeah.
There might be someone walking into your house right now pleasuring himself in your bedroom.
There
You'd
totally
never know
could be. I'm pretty sure that's Zach. I think he does that anyways. Onto my just.
You wouldn't be surprised. Okay, all right. Zach walks in, pleasuring yourself into your undergarments. Would you just be like, I was going to wear that tomorrow?
I guess it would be different. You know, like what are you pleasuring yourself into? If you're like pleasuring yourself into one of my T-shirts, like that's a little weird. Like, why are you doing that? What is that doing for you? You know,
But
or like just like a
undergarments-
pair of pants.
Yeah. But
what?
panties, you'd be like, okay, I get it.
understand.
You
Yeah,
get it.
I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I would just be like, if anybody was like pleasuring themselves into like clothing that I was going to wear, that would be piss me off. I only do wash like once a week. You can't take care of something that I was going to probably wear 2 days from now.
Yeah, I would just like to know. I think.
Yeah, at least leave a note.
Have a pile. Like, hey, like, don't wear this stuff.
Yeah.
Wash this.
Yeah. But then, which was also funny in the story, the guy kept denying it. He goes, yeah, I have keys to her house. I'm her super. I fix her water heater, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. And then the cop showed the picture, and in the arrest report, it said he at that time stopped the interview.
Oh, my God. That's great.
That is great. Also, it is also
Top-notch
great.
guy.
We talked right now. The Steeler game is going on. Last week they faced the Cincinnati Bengals, and Vontaze Burfict, who is a known scumbag. Well, he is claiming that 3 times this past week, Steeler fans have taken a dump on his front lawn.
That's great.
Now, the problem I have is, how do you know it's Steeler fans' poop?
Yeah. I would. Maybe it's like black and gold. Maybe they like spray paint it.
It has fries from it from like the Permani Brothers or something like that.
Exactly.
You'd have to have a DNA test to see if if there was an Eaton Park Smiley cookie in the poop.
My thing is that maybe someone drove all that way just to do that. That would make me happy. Where does he live?
Cincinnati.
Yeah, so that makes me happy if someone would have driven from Pittsburgh just to do that and then just driven home right after.
If somebody,
what would you eat if you were going to take a dump on someone's like porch?
I'd probably try to eat a decent amount of drink coffee. That always makes me poop.
But I mean, I want to have
fast food.
What kind of consistency and like what kind of
I don't want to have it like diarrhea. I want it
smell.
I want it to smell. I want it to be a log. I want it to be.
I think diarrhea would honestly be way more hilarious. You know, if you just have a bag of it and you like lift it up and it's like seeping through.
No bag. I mean, I want like actual you take a dump on his front lawn.
Oh, then I think diarrhea would totally be more.
No, because then if it rains,
you
it
can
goes
easily
away.
pick up that poop and just like, all right, this is like dog poop.
Now it's a hose. And it's gone. I don't know.
But I don't know. I feel like you have to go through a little bit more work, and it's just a little more disgusting. Like I would do like what my sister called today, like dad shits.
Okay.
Day after drinking shits.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
See, my problem with day after drinking shits is I want the coffee, fast food, probably Mexican, Taco Bell would be nice.
That's what I eat before I drink all the time. So there you go.
So we're actually on the same wavelength.
And then I would also eat asparagus, and then I would pee on it so that it smelled extra super bad.
There you go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. So that was Vontaze Burfict. One of our favorite comedians got in trouble today, Hannibal Buress.
What happened? I saw a picture. I was like, no, Hannibal, what are you doing?
Okay, so here's what he was doing. So he's in Florida doing a show and apparently got drunk.
Okay.
And he did what is kind of funny, but only if you're drunk.
Okay.
He went up to a cop and asked the cop to order him an Uber. And the cop, being a cop, said no.
Okay.
So then Hannibal got pissed off at the cop for not ordering him an Uber and went back into the bar that he was in, pissed off at the cop, asking, people, hey, can someone order me an Uber? And so the cop was mad because the cop goes up to him and says, hey, get out of this bar, get out of this bar. And so because he didn't leave the bar when the cop said so, he charged him with trespassing and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah, that sounds kind of stupid. But, shouldn't the cop be happy? At least this dude's not driving. He's trying to do the right thing,
I would say if I was a cop, I would assist the gentleman in getting an Uber. I wouldn't necessarily get the Uber for him.
Yeah, if I had some free time, I'd be like, oh, okay,
Yeah, I'll be like, okay, do you have your phone on you? I'll help you with the app.
Yeah.
Or hey, do you have any buddies around here? I'll be like, or you go up to a guy, be like, are you alone?
Yeah.
Are you with somebody? Be like, hey, can you get this guy an Uber? And by the way, he probably knew who Hannibal Buress was. Even if you don't know him, you've seen the face enough to know about him.
Great mugshot, though.
That's the way to get a mugshot.
He looks good.
Well, he's just smiling because he knows he's rich and he knows he's probably going to get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not getting any real trouble. He's not going to jail.
It's a pretty stupid charge anyway, so.
But, so that was Hannibal Buress. Again, cop, if someone comes up to you and goes, hey, could you order me an Uber? At least direct him towards how to get an Uber.
He's trying to do the right thing.
He's trying to do the right thing. He's trying. You're supposed to help. Anyways, speaking of someone that was trying to help and didn't at all, a couple weeks ago, they were talking about that there was a serial killer in Tampa, and they finally caught him. And so they had this big press conference for the Tampa City officials to sit there and say, hey, we caught this guy. Now, when they have those type of big press conferences, they have someone sign language, right?
Yeah.
Well, someone who was there who was actually one of the victim's moms actually was deaf.
Okay.
And so she's looking at the person who is sign languaging, saying, hey, I want to follow along what's going on because I'm deaf and I got to watch around. And the woman who is deaf figured out something. This person doesn't know sign language.
Uh-oh.
This person is just basically just moving her arms and trying to do things and essentially doing gibberish, which comes back to, they sat there, she complained. She went to Tampa, goes, hey, the person you have sign languaging isn't actually doing any sign language.
Especially if that person's a mom of the victim.
Yeah.
They'd definitely like to know what's going on.
So what it turns out is that apparently Tampa City got a service that just sent someone and said, yeah, I'm the person who does the sign language. And they're like, okay, we'll stand here and do the sign language. And no one knew it.
What if it was this whole story about how this woman, this fake sign language, or she stole someone's identity and she just pretended to be this fake this sign language person, and she actually killed this person, and then they found another serial killer because of that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. That'd be a good story. We should make a movie of that.
That should be a new movie called The Sign Language Giver. I don't know what it would be.
The Sign Language Killer.
Sign of Death. Boom.
Ooh, that was good. I actually liked that one.
I'm so good at things. But no, think of the balls it would be for someone who probably, just sit there and go, I don't know any sign language.
I would feel so guilty doing it the whole time.
You would put on let's say if someone said, hey, sign language of these things is $30. No one ever looks at them.
Yeah.
So just move your arms a lot. Make it look like it's sunrise, that kind of shit. And then all of a sudden, you cash a check.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I do it. I'm just saying I kind of get it. But you're right. I would feel
I'd feel really guilty.
I'd feel really guilty. And then again, the deaf people would complain.
It just seems like they're making fun of them. You know what I mean? They're not
totally making fun of them.
They're not taking it seriously. So I find that mean.
Of course it's mean. But again, Sign of Death coming out summer 2019. Lindsay Palace, who is an insanely hot Instagram model, who is, she's incredible. A big fan.
I couldn't tell by the first part of that.
Big fan of this woman. She's 24 years old. She's blonde. She has this, I had to put 30 HH natural boobs.
30 HH.
Natural boobs.
I had to go through that. I had to go through the alphabet real quick just to figure out what that was.
Yeah, and so again, woman's absolutely gifted. And
do you have a story about it, or do you just want to say
I just wanted to bring her up. No, so here's the story. So she did a couple tweets about the fact that because of her giant boobs, her back hurts.
Oh, right.
And but she sat there and she went and someone interviewed her and says, "So you have giant breasts. Would you ever consider breast reduction?" And she goes, "No, never. These are my gifts from God. I will never, take away my boobs. This is what makes me me. And I just have to say, kudos.
Yeah, you can get back braces.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, again.
I do appreciate that she loves her body that much to where she would say that, to where she would never change it.
Yeah, but she's going through actual physical discomfort. But she's like, the physical discomfort is worth it because I get to be an Instagram model.
And I love my body.
Now, my only thing is, how can nature make your boobs so big that it would actually physically hurt you?
God was, having a little bit to drink that day.
Said, let's just make them bigger. Let's just make them bigger. Wait, we're at 30 WDs. Now make them bigger. Make them bigger. She's 5'2", 110 pounds. Make them bigger.
Yep. It was a good day for him.
Yeah, good day for us as well. So thank you for Lindsay for having the commitment to keep your giant boobs. Someone that is a giant boob, Mike Pence, Vice President of the United States. There was a story this week, and I want to get your take on it, Alex.
Okay.
Back when he was in a fraternity at Hanover College in Indiana, he was a part of a frat. And like frats do, they get beer, they drink, they party.
Right.
And this was a quote-unquote dry campus. But college kids are going to drink and do whatever.
Exactly.
And he knew this, and so he was part of the frat. And typically they said that he would just kind of supervise and make sure that no one broke anything big.
Fucking creepy.
Yeah, that's what sophomore in college, that's what he did. So one time, they told a story this week. One time, one of the deans came to the house and said, we have reports that you have kegs. Now, normally, what the people said that they would do is the guy who opened the door would take the hit and say, "Hey, yeah,
why would anyone ever open the door then?"
I know it's a Hanover College. It's not like Harvard. That's what we used to do at UConn. Like they couldn't have a search warrant.
Right.
So if like the person was knocking at the door going, "Hey, you let me in," they'd be like, "Nope."
Yeah.
And we would and if the person sat there and would all go get like they could, not like a search warrant, but like something equivalent at UConn, be like, okay, go get it. And then during the 5-10 minutes for him to go get it, we'd get rid of the beer, and then they'd walk in and there'd be nothing there.
Yeah.
So that's all you had to do. But again, Mike Pence opened the door, and the guy goes, "Hey, we know you have kegs here," and instead of taking the hit, he goes and goes, "Yeah, these are the kegs," and the whole frat had them, and basically ratted out his entire frat.
Ew.
Now, what does that tell you about Mike Pence?
Not a great dude.
Here's my thing.
Not very loyal.
I would sit there and say that he's loyal to only himself and his agenda and his want to and desire to succeed. That's what it shows me, at least.
Yeah, and I think it's just creepy in general that like he's the supervisor. Like that's creepy. Why don't you just get drunk? You're in college. What are you doing?
Because again,
like don't join a stupid frat.
Yeah, that'd be my thing.
Or join the frat that like no one, like they're all people like that, and like no one drinks and you do like a bunch of volunteer work all the time.
Because I bet you again, he wanted to be part of the frat in order to make the connections. It wasn't about drinking. It was about, this person's going to be important and blah, 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 blah.
Well, then join a better frat where they don't drink.
That's the worst frat, in my opinion.
Well, I'm saying better for him.
Yeah, I mean, what is the point? I have so many people that have been in frats, and they all talk about it's a brotherhood and all this kind of stuff.
Brotherhood.
It's drinking. It's partying. That's what it is.
Chicks.
It's
booze.
It's booze.
More chicks.
Yeah. You talked about like that was a big deal for you going like your first year at the Point Park.
I went to the best frat ever. That was my favorite thing in the whole world. I would never say anything bad about that frat.
What was so great about it?
It was all of like the guys from basically like all of the other frats that the guys who couldn't get into those or like didn't want to get into those because they thought they were all douche pieces of shit. So they started their own where they're just like super awesome, cool dudes. And they just wanted to drink all the time. Like that's what they wanted to do. So they wanted to have this
So
frat.
they didn't want to get with all the preppy scumbags who were like, ooh,
Exactly.
we're trying to like, we're going to make you like. I always thought it was weird. Like you ever watch like the old movies where they talk about like Skull and Bones and at Yale where they make like the future president like, sit in pig crap and they drink. Like, and I'm just like, this is so stupid.
No, they're like cool dudes who just wanted to like drink and like live with a bunch of other cool dudes, That was basically it. It was good.
And
I
I
loved
bet
it.
you bet you that the other frats hated him, and that they had like a big fight, and then eventually they won out because they were the super cool dudes. Except maybe I was just describing Revenge of the Nerds.
And they still got chicks, and they probably got better chicks.
They got cool chicks, who did not like the preppy chicks that wanted to I want to date a future doctor, a future lawyer, a future that. No, I want to date the dude that's cool. I want to date the chick that's I don't want a woman that's too I don't ooh, I want this by this age, this by this age. I don't want that. I want someone that's just hey, just live.
Yeah, let's just live. Super stoned girl.
Let's just live. Live and be what we are, not like Mike Pence who rats out people. Anyways, final story.
Okay.
Social media can be a wonderful thing. We are currently on social media on Facebook Live. But it also can backfire if you're not careful.
Yes.
Kelsey Hall,
no.
who is a student at the University of Alabama, if there are still students at the University of Alabama, it just might be a giant football team at this point, took a picture of herself in a costume that made her look like a giant Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah.
And so she sat there and said, hey, if I get 1,000 retweets, I will wear this to class till the end of the semester. So what do you think happened?
Yeah, obviously. That's not even... Make it a little bit higher there.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Kelsey Hall.
Yeah, Kelsey. How about go for 30,000? How many people are at your school? Go for how many people are at your school and become real famous.
But instead, she just went for a G.
Yeah. Obviously, that's going to happen.
And there she is.
She totally wanted to.
She just wanted... But look at her face.
She was like, I need to think of an idea of how I can wear my Christmas tree costume to school every single day until Christmas. How do I do this? How am I going to do this? And then she thought of this idea. So maybe she's really smart.
But look at the face. It looks kind of like she's not real happy about it.
Yeah. I think she's secretly happy. She just
got on the Mike Sasson show.
She just wants to be famous.
She's
I think we should call her up and say, hey, what are your thoughts? How's this going? How's your costume smell? Have you washed it?
Yeah, producer extraordinaire, get on that. Go on Twitter, connect to her.
What up, girl?
What up, girl?
I don't know how to do Twitter things.
You don't know how to do. You don't know how to message.
You can message people on Twitter, or you just tweet at them.
You can find her and say, "Hey, Kelsey, we'd love to have you on the show at Mike Sasson," and then you just sit there and just go, "Hey, girl, what's up? How things going?"
Okay. But I want her to come in her Christmas tree costume.
Yeah, we can Skype. Well, she's in Alabama. We don't have the budget to fly her up here.
I think we do.
We do?
We have the budget for everything else. You always say we have millions and millions of dollars.
Well, I mean, we have budgets for mostly just Welch's fruit snacks.
Oh.
That's millions.
I don't even like them.
I like them a lot. Anyways, also what I like is doing lots of wonderful things for the community, and that's why I had on Amanda Averill earlier, because guess what? They're going to be this Saturday on the South Side for Operation Troop Appreciation. Thank you very much to Amanda. Thank you very much to all of them for being here. Trying to find the name. There it is, Sherry Einhaus. Again, let's start over. Thank you to Sherry and Amanda for coming on to the show. Operation Troop Appreciation this Saturday, December 16th, 7:30 at Ruggers on the South Side. $10 donation, comedy, music, helping the troops. Christmas, unbelievable. Merry Christmas to everyone. Next week should be our big Christmas episode.
Is it? I can't think of.
Because Christmas actually is the next week, but are we going to have a show on that Sunday?
Oh my God, so close.
It's so close. We're getting that Christmas spirit.
You realize that Sunday's Christmas Eve, right?
I know.
Oh.
I know. Are we going to have a show?
That's ridiculous.
Of course not. That's why next week is our Christmas episode. Anyways, it's the Mike Sasson Show. My name's Mike. That is Alex. Again, this Saturday, 7:30, $10 donation, Ruggers Southside. Go there. Support the troops. Go enjoy the Steeler game. Hopefully they're winning. Maybe they're not. Who knows? God bless America. See you later. Bye.